Sunny on the beat.
Yeah.
This is running.
Yeah. Increase the most high height. Bashim shot. Yeah. Genesis chapter 49 verse 14. It's a car, it's a strong ass couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bed, and became a servant unto tribute. Shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, we be working hard, can't extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, they be working hard, can't extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico. Nevertheless, I'm a servant under tribute on restaurant, but I came to serve what's on the menu, the Holy Bible. Cause every verse you read is speak truth, they call us proverbs and Bible words like speaks in me, bro. Don't you see how they murder little niños? Only truth and I'm Arawak, I need Southern King, Northern King, that's my people. Young Simeon Knight, working hard like amigo. The never flow like gold crust, heavy dough. I used to mow the lawn like I'm ready, homie. I'm talking kind green like belly dough. I'm talking sorcery, I have plenty O's. This from the heart, you can't hear it with no stethoscope. I can see the day the Lord is coming with no telescope. Tell your folks your shine coming back with a weapon though. When is that? No man knows, only the king in heaven knows. The path before it's too late. Birdie wishes, let it go. Let I high and curious sickness, he's the antidote, that's right. Come and preach his truth with your brethren, home. Work hard like it's a car, Mexico. Shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. We be working hard, can't extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico.
Working hard like a Mexican, y'all should probably no debating that. Young Drew that done sent me in. Isaiah 49, bring Jacob back. Wake up, no makeup slack. Think about the past, think about the future. Most high finna come fast, and he's gonna pursue her. It's bride, and they said it was Israel, and that's why Israel misspelled, and that's why we are living in this hell, and that's why no knowledge in this realm, and that's why no knowledge, and that's how New Rome, day captivity, trying to bring you out of slavery and poverty. Jesus is he who will bring you out of Egypt. You really need him. Is he coming back down next weekend? From the air, no air balloon, nah. No Scientology, no plane. Ain't rocket science, shot popping off on my bruised head. We ain't dying, no flying. Awakening, it's gonna be one rude awakening. When he come back, he's taking his squad track. Blood on his gun, man, with his hand on the sword. Horns on the devil, won't get on the sword. It's a nuclear war in New York. Manhattan, they gon' be real sore. Y'all already know it's the war. It's not talk crazy when I record it. I don't even wanna talk no more. It's crossing the border. What they do? Import the snort, ignore the poor. Either be a corpse or either go to court. Either go to court or either be a corpse. Whoa.
Shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, we be working hard, can't extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico.
Shouts out to your shots, his car was lost, but now we found it. Clinging only to his wheels, call it double mounted. Make a heathen say surrender, find themselves surrounded. We be crossing many borders with the blue around it. I'm from Judah, they my brothers, I let you know. Found out how you grab the hoe, now we not letting go. Tell them repent on the ghetto side of Mexico. Tell them repent on the ghetto side of Mexico. Well, make a nation ain't complete with just 11 though. That's like trying to grow, trying to rise with unleavened dough. We suffering the curses and the purpose. Yeah, I read the verses, open up my eyes to the lies I was really searching. searching. Close to these demons, cause I keep the faith and law. If you don't, you like a car with the doors ajar. Drop the middleman, now it's ready to go. Now I put in work like it's a car, straight from Mexico. Go.
Shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, we be working hard, getting extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico. Yeah,
I be in the lab like I'm Dexter. Before stuffing cash in the dresser. Working hard, amigos call me Hector. And my president with evil like I'm Wesker. My mind was in the clouds like some chemtrails. The chemicals had me wild, I should've been still. But I didn't, cause the Father chose me out the world. Gave me strength so I can take care of my little girl. I'm a man made in my Father's image. When I was down, I bounced back. Hey, you thought I was finished? Smoking hot like your sister cooking on the stove. I was young when I started trying to act wrong. I knew about the Bible, but I never read it. Was lying, I'm talking no light. Didn't know where I was headed. The past made me who I am. I will never forget it. The Father's my boss. He took all my sins and he just shredded. Now he put me in a new position and told me to bring truth. So when I get up on these tracks, I'm gonna make it do what it do. We don't care about no Easter or that silly rabbit. They tricked us to wrestle on the Sunday instead of wrestling on the Sabbath.
shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, we be working hard, getting extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, shouts out, it's a car, Mexico. Yeah, we be working hard, getting extra dough. I got beat, that rest is good, and it's pleasant though. This kid work hard like it's a car, Mexico.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
This is another Shabbat lesson we're bringing to you. The lesson is called Northern Kingdom, a people robbed and spoiled.
That's right.
There's been a lot going on in the news lately with our Northern Kingdom brothers, the so-called Hispanics, and especially the Mexicans, so-called Mexicans in the news, where they showed images of kids being in detention centers separated from their parents. And we know that unfortunately they're going through a lot of calamities lately, having clashes with the Border Patrol where they're getting gunned down at the border in car wrecks. So we want to use this opportunity to bring awareness to our Northern Kingdom brothers, to let them know who they are according to the Bible and why these atrocities are happening to them. So before we get into this lesson, let's do a quick introduction. This is Mikael.
My name is Yakanah Maccabees.
My name is Chedikia.
My name is Abiyah, the messenger.
And as always, we want to start the lesson with our two passages, John chapter 8, verse 32, and Isaiah 28:10.
Alright, this is John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So it's important when handling the Most High's word that we bring the truth of the scriptures, because we got to represent the Most High properly. Without the truth, you're in bondage, in captivity. So freedom starts with the freedom of your mind.
That's
go with
right.
the truth. Next, let's go to Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept. For precept must be upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's the correct way to read the scriptures. You have to use the Bible's like a giant puzzle, and you got to put the pieces together to solve, to understand the puzzle. So we're not going to read one scripture, one soundbite, and take it out of context. We're going to bring precept upon precept to give you the full understanding of the scriptures. Next, let's go to Isaiah 42:22.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes.
The people are what?
All of them snared in holes.
Okay.
And they are hid in prison houses.
And that's what we're talking about today. the so-called Mexicans and Central Americans are snared and hosed and hid in prison houses. Continue.
They are for a prey,
They are for a prey,
and none delivereth.
and none deliver.
For a spoil, and none saith, restored.
Con. So that's where our focus on the lesson is today about the immigrants who actually are the indigenous people of the Americas being held captive in their own land. Because we know Deuteronomy 19:14 says, "You should not move thy neighbor's landmark." And that's what America, the thief, came to do. Where John 10:10 says, "The thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy."
That's right.
The people are financially distressed in their native countries in Mexico, Central America, South America, and they're trying to come up to America for better opportunities so they can take care of their family and feed them, and they're being under oppression here, not having the rites of passage to come to America, the so-called land of the free and home of the brave, to provide better opportunities for their family. Let's go.
Slovakia, and also the ones that are here, they trying to use the ICE program and destroy programs like DACA, so that when they do get here, they don't even have a fighting chance to even survive, even as children. When many of immigrants have came here, and not just sneaking across the Mexican border, but you got people that come in through airports and planes through Canada. And more of them sneak across there than any people in the United States of America that come here as immigrants.
That's right.
Like you have millions of Albanians, millions of people that come from India, millions of people that come from European countries, and they come right across the Canadian border. 60% of them to be exact. And none of them are under the same oppressive tactics by the government.
Con. These are facts. Why don't the other nations have a tough time coming to Americas like the Northern Kingdom did, the so-called Hispanics? It's because they're the Most High's chosen people, and when you read the Bible, the history between Jacob and Esau, you know that you're Jacob. You see that Esau's always hated the descendants of Jacob. This is why he went through the hardships. Let's bring this article out about the detention center in Texas.
McAllen, Texas. Inside an old warehouse in South Texas, hundreds of immigrant children wait in a series of cages created by metal fencing. One cage had 20 children inside. Scattered about are bottles of water, bags of chips, and large foil sheets intended to serve as blankets.
Wait, what they got for sheets?
Large foil sheets intended to serve as blankets.
So they giving these cats or these kids a piece of Reynolds wrap as a blanket to keep them warm and comfortable at night.
One teenager told an advocate who visited that she was helping care for a child she didn't know because the child's aunt was somewhere else in the facility. She said she had to show others in her cell how to change the girl's diapers. The U.S. Border Patrol on Sunday allowed reporters to briefly visit the facility where it holds families arrested at the southern U.S. border, responding to new criticism and protests over the Trump administration's zero tolerance policy and resulting separation of families. Immigrants sit in a detention facility in McAllen, Texas, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rio Grande Valley sector via AP. More than 1,100 people were inside a large dark facility that divided into separate wings for unaccompanied children. Adults on their own and mothers and fathers with children, the cages in wing open out into common areas to use portable restrooms. The overhead lighting in the warehouse stays on around the clock.
I was like, how can you get a good night's sleep when you got the light constantly shining in your face 24/7? That's inhumane with it. And the Most High is going to pay America for doing this. Now, some people want to say, be simple, say, well, Donald Trump did sign an executive order to end this process, but the damage is already done. These kids are traumatized, not knowing where their mother, father, their guardian is. They're going to have to live with this for the rest of their lives, being away from their families. they're going to probably need a lot of counseling and prayer to get through this ordeal. So the damage is already done, even though the executive order to put this to end and unite the kids and the families has been established.
Salakia. And at work earlier this week, I personally was reading an article, and it was saying that like 65 or to 85% of these children will never even be reunited with their parents. Some of these children are right there in Texas. Some of these kids are even scattered throughout New York City already in facilities. So how is it possible they gonna ever be reunited with their children? And some of them don't speak English. Like, that's madness.
Look like we got a gainsay on here, so let's deal with this in Isaiah 11. This is Asarel Shimshon Yisrael. He says, the northern kingdom is still in Africa. Shalom. Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and Hamath.
This is why we had that. Salak.
Let me just bring it up.
Yeah, this is why we had that conversation with Jediah recently. For this day, this was gonna happen.
All praise. Let's use the word Most High to cut this. So you bring up Testament of Naphtali then?
Yeah.
So we can go to Testament of Naphtali, chapter 6. Hey, we was waiting for you.
How do you spell Naphtali?
Naphtali is one of the sons of Jacob, and his name is Reso, and this is from the book, the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs.
This is the Testament of Naphtali, chapter 6. And again, after 7 days, I saw our father Yaquab standing by the sea of Jamina, and we were with him. And behold, there came a ship sailing by without sailors or pilot.
Okay, so he saw his. So this is Naphtali giving an account of a vision he received where he saw his father Jacob at one place and a ship called Jacob at another coming towards them.
And there was written upon the ship the name of Jaquab. And our father said to us, come, let us embark on our ship. And when we had gone on board, there arose a vehement storm and a mighty tempest of wind. And our father, who was holding the helm, departed from us.
So this is a future prophecy showing that all 12 tribes were on the ships in some way or the other.
And we, being tossed with the tempest, were borne along over the sea. And the ship was filled with water.
So the shipwright was a rough sail.
And was pounded by mighty waves until it was broken up.
Okay.
And Joseph fled away upon a little boat.
Wait, who did?
Joseph fled away on a little boat.
Another name for Joseph is Ephraim when you read the Bible. So this is the northern kingdom. They fled away on a little boat, so it was a bit more comfortable.
And we all were divided upon 9 planks. And Levi and Judah were together.
The southern kingdom. So Joseph floated on a boat, came on a boat to the Americas, and which is the northern kingdom, and the southern kingdom, Levi and Judah, was it?
Correct.
Levi and Judah came on planks. We know that planks is a scrap of a ship, which is talking about the slave ships in Deuteronomy 28:68, where they was packed into ships like sardines in very uncomfortable positions, going to the bathroom on each other, cramped up. They didn't come to the Americas in a comfortable position as the northern kingdom did.
Verse 7, and we were all scattered unto the ends of the earth.
Wait, just Judah was?
And we were all scattered unto the ends of the earth.
This is the Bible, the Testament of Naphtali. We were all scattered, not just Judah.
Then Levi girded about with sackcloth and prayed for us all unto Yahweh. And when the storm ceased, the ship reached the land as it were in peace. And lo, our father came, and we all rejoiced with one accord.
And when you read the scripture says that, let me bring out Jeremiah 3:18. Bring out Jeremiah 3:18. We're talking about Israel and Jesus going to come out to the land of the north. So with the northern kingdom is just in Africa, then how do you explain Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 18 then?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 18.
Bring it out.
In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
So the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and
they shall come together out of the land of the north.
Wait, just Judah's coming out the land of the north.
And they shall come together out of the land of the north.
The house of Judah and the house of Israel shall come together out the land of the north.
To the land that I have given for an inheritance into your fathers.
So cut that the northern kingdoms, we believe that a remnant of the northern kingdoms in Africa, but to say that all of the northern kingdom is in Africa still is ridiculous when the Bible clearly said that all of Israel will be scattered across the four corners of the earth.
That's right.
Let me bring out one from the Torah too. I think it's Deuteronomy 29:28, I think it is. We'll bring out another witness. Start at verse 26. This is a prophecy also.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, 28.
Start at verse 26.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 26.
So this is a prophecy that Moses gave to the Israelites. What's going to happen to them in the future?
For they went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them.
So Most High revealed to Moses that the Israelites was going to fail to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and serve other gods.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against the land, to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book.
Deuteronomy 28. So all the curses going to happen on the Israelites for failing to keep the covenant with the Most High.
And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation.
Which is Judah.
And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land.
Wait, cast them into what?
Cast them into another land.
Arzareth, that's the word, Arzareth. Another is Akur, which is Strong's H312, which means another, and we look at Strong's H309, which it comes from, it means tarry, behind, delay, which tells you this is the America, which points to Americas, which was the last land discovered.
That's right.
And we want to give a special shalom, peace and blessings to Elder Jedi Malek of Kayashu for sharing this revelation with us also.
There's a sister, there's a sister, Natalie Marie Colbert. She wants to know where we can get the scripture, the testaments of the 12 patriarchs. And I just wanted to show her the book because I gave her the website and everything. So this is the book right here that you're going to find on HebrewIsraeliteScriptures.com. It's So this one here. And you can go on the website and get it. It's the Apocrypha with the 12 patriarchs in it. It's a great book. You should definitely check it out.
And this was published by Hebrew Israelite also, so support your own brother also. It's
exactly.
Very reasonable price, very good quality.
For the Hebrew Israelites, by a Hebrew Israelite.
That's
Support
right.
the community.
This book was also translated from original Hebrew manuscripts from the Dead Sea Scrolls.
That's right.
Con. And so much love to Elder Jedi Malek for giving us this breakdown.
Shalom.
We have another brother here that says, does Mexicans fit Deuteronomy 28 and 64? Mr. Matthew Menard.
Alright, let's
Want me to read it?
Wait, let's finish Deuteronomy 28 29, then we'll go to that next question. Right? So read that again.
And the Lord rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land.
Another land, Akar Eretz in Hebrew, which means the last land to be discovered.
That's right.
As it is this day.
Wait, as it is what?
This day.
Which means now, this period now. they've been cast out to the Americans. So there's no way around it when you go into the Hebrew. So the next question wants us to show how the Mexicans fit Deuteronomy 28:64.
Which is,
Do you think we can handle that?
The Lord shall scatter thee among
Okay, so Deuteronomy 28:60. But let's go to Deuteronomy 1:1 first. And where's that paper on?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Excuse me.
All right, we got a breakdown on Issachar too. I'm gonna bring for you, Brother Matthew Menard. So this is Deuteronomy 1:1 says, "These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness." So the book of Deuteronomy was the words that Moses brought to all of Israel, all the 12 tribes of Reuben, Gad, Manasseh, Simeon, all the 12 tribes of Israel. So now we'll go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth unto another." So there, right there, shows that the Israelites will be scattered all over the earth there, even Mexico. "And from one end of the earth unto to the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." Now Mexicans, I believe most of their people are in Catholicism, where they're bound down to the white Jesus, the white Mary, and the other idols that their oppressors taught them, which is objects of wood and stone actually.
Let alone that, some of the Northern Kingdom stayed behind when the 10 tribes came to the Americas as well. So they are even a remnant of them that are amongst the tribes in Africa. And I'm gonna bring this out. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 48. "But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders." So some of them will be found against amongst the borders of Judah. That's why some of the people are left behind in Africa that are called Issachar. That's why some of them are left behind that are called Ephraim, which are the Yoruba, which were the same people that are in Puerto Rico. So I don't understand what you're trying to say, because we still scattered through all 4 corners of the earth. And the Most High said in Jeremiah that he was going to cause the confusion of faces.
Con.
We have one more.
You gonna get the breakdown of the Mexicans too?
Or Genesis 49?
Right. And we're going to do a breakdown of the Mexicans real quick, also show you how they're the Most High's chosen people. Genesis 49.
14 to 15.
Alright. So Genesis 49, 14, and 15.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 14 and 15. "Issachar is a strong ass couching down between 2 burdens."
Also, when you see the Mexican flag by coincidence, it's a picture of 2 asses on it, right? The Mexican flag, I believe.
"And he saw the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant unto tribute." Now, if you look around this country anywhere, right now ain't nobody working and doing all the jobs that some of y'all is unemployed and don't want to do harder than Mexicans. They doing all the jobs that nobody else wants to do. If you go to these construction sites, it's a lot of them, 20 of them doing the punch-out work that nobody else wants to do. They working all the farms around the country. They're the people who are a servant unto tribute. Are you in denial?
Well, read the breakdown too. Yeah, read the attributes.
Who always rides a donkey is strong as one takes siesta, which is rest. Work serves to bear multiple burdens.
This car is the hardest working nation of people out there. Like Akhenaten said, they're on the construction sites putting drywall up or doing odds and ends, or in the fields picking up produce. And Issachar means reward. The reward for their labor. So.
We had another question from Tanya Archie. She said, is this for all people of color?
This is for the 12 tribes of Israel, Sister Tanya Archie. The blacks, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and those that are scattered to the four corners of the globe that fit the curses in the book Deuteronomy 28.
And don't be, it's not more or less on color. It's more or less on nationality, where you come from. Because as you can see, I'm a lighter hue than my brother's hair. So don't get caught up on black or white or anything like that, because we all come in different shades and colors, especially when it comes to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of this country. So
it depends on who your father is also.
That's right.
If your father's a Israelite or not.
Hope that answered your question, sis. Thank you for the question. Appreciate it. That's it.
All right.
Any other questions? I hope that was edifying for you. If that wasn't clear enough, and if you want, you don't gotta take our words. You always can go and do more research. You can be learning and pick up what we picked up and learned.
That's right.
I always say Salakia for the Mexican flag too. My brother showed us it's an eagle, so it had nothing to do with the breakdown. So let's go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 17.
Chapter 4, 17.
Yep, look it up.
Yeah, you so-called Hispanics. When you see yourself in the Bible, most times it can be referred to as Ephraim, because Ephraim is the head of the so-called Hispanic tribes, or the northern kingdom. And Judah is the head of the southern kingdom. So we see Judah, it's talking about the Negroes, the West Indians, and the Levites. So when you see Ephraim, lots of times it's talking about Judah.
It says, Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sour, or so, right? Sour? Sour. Apologize. A lot. They have committed whoredom continually. For rulers with shame do love, give ye.
So this is why all these calamities are coming to you, where you're oppressed in your own land, you're cursing your city, and then when you come to America, you're going through the same curses also, because you've been joined to idols, idolatry, bow down to the white Jesus, or the different gods during the carnival season, quality, celebrating Christmas, Easter, and things that are not of the Most High. You're caught up in idolatry, and your drink is sour. It's not the doctrine or the living waters of the Bible. It's these man-made doctrines and philosophies. That's why these calamities are coming upon you. Hosea 7:11.
Hosea chapter 7 verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dove.
Wait, Ephraim is like what?
Like a silly dove, without heart. They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria.
So Ephraim, you're looking to America and these other nations for help instead of going to the Most High. So that's why the Bible compares you to a silly dove without heart.
When they shall go, this is 12. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them.
So when they try to go to the country, he spreads his net, the border patrol, to detain them, put them in detention centers, to harass them and to gun them down at the borders. Because they're trying to look for salvation, but in the wrong place by coming to America. Continue. Or run that again, when they shall go.
Okay, and when they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven. I will chastise them, and their congregation hath heard.
Okay.
Woe unto them, for they have fled from me.
Wait, they did what?
Fled from me.
Okay.
Destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me.
So that's why you're getting having so much trouble on your hands. You're being separated from your families. Yeah, if you're living in distressful situations, you leave your country that's struggling to come to live in the projects and ghettos in America, then still catching hell. A lot of your kids are in gangs or on the streets doing wicked things. It's because you're running from the Most High, because you don't know who you are according to the Bible. You don't know what's required of you.
Come. And they have not cried unto me with their heart. When they howled upon their beds, they assembled themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me.
And also these Christian churches aren't going to teach you who you are, unfortunately, either. So they're not going to teach you the true Messiah according to the Bible, because there's many different Messiahs out there. They're not going to teach you to keep the commandments, to keep the Sabbath day, or to grow a beard, or to keep the feast days. They're going to teach you the doctrines of the world instead.
Come.
Though I have, this is 15.
Verse 15.
Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, yet do they imagine mischief against me.
Okay.
They return, but not to the Most High.
So they return, but not to the Most High.
They are like a deceitful bow. Their princes shall fall by the sword, for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt.
Cause that's why you're cursed no matter where you go to. Whether you say in your country, if you come here, you're going to be cursed, and your leaders are going to fall by the sword. Next, let's go to Lamentations 4:17.
This is Lamentations, alright? I don't know how to spell that exactly. Lamentations 4:17.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes yet fell for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Also, a lot of the Northern Kingdom look into America for salvation, and they cannot save you. Being put into a detention camp, having your kids and be separated from your family members is not being saved. Being deported and not knowing if the officials are going to come tap you on the shoulders and take you away to ship you back to your country, that's not salvation at all. So there's not salvation here in America for the majority of our so-called Hispanic brothers.
And that's the same thing that happened with us in Puerto Rico too. A lot of our outcry was towards the United States. It was about help us, United States, help us. They're not helping us, United States. Is that we're always looking to the same individuals that slaughtered and killed our people, took over our island, and destroyed it with military bases, destroyed our crops, destroyed our industries, and so we're still, even to this day, we're still looking to become a statehood, which a statehood would make us a part of the United States. And that goes back to that verse where we're looking towards them to save us, when we should be looking for independence and rely on ourselves.
That's right.
And rely on the Most High God.
Let me read it again. As for us, our eyes as yet fell for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
So the nation of America.
Verse 18. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets.
And Slocky, that's happening right now with the immigration policies being pushed by President Trump, where if your paperwork is not right, they're going to take you off the streets then and send you back to your country then. And it's so bad now that a lot of people that pick produce in California, they're scared to go out in the fields and work now because they don't know if immigration is going to pick them up or not.
They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains, they laid wait for us in the wilderness.
And that's talking about the immigration again, where there's a big manhunt to go after the so-called immigrants that don't have their paperwork, that they can be taken off the streets any day and separated from their family, no matter how many kids or if they have a wife or not. They're going to be separated from their family and sent back to their country.
Salakia. And for all you naysayers, if they not our brethren, if they not living under the curses, how come the Albanian men that's sneaking in through Canada is not going through the same tribulations? How come the Hindus that's sneaking in through Canada or the Chinaman that's sneaking in through Canada ain't going through the same tribulations? That's because they try to separate us from our brethren.
Come.
And y'all just continue to vex Ephraim. That's what y'all gonna do. But if y'all continue in this foolishness, you gonna pay for the punishment as well.
That's right.
That's right.
And I also want to say that July 4th is around the corner. Like, you seen what America thinks about you with the immigration handling you guys down on the streets and putting you guys in detention centers. Are you going to light fireworks and act a fool on July 4th? You're stupid if you do.
You're gonna act like July 4th was that Independence Day, right? Whose independence was it? Right?
Right, blacks.
Whose independence was it? It was not the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' independence.
Come.
It was the independence of the Europeans who came and colonized this part of the world to get away from their oppressors.
Come.
So they came and oppressed us. It makes no dang sense that we have so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans celebrating this holiday like it's theirs.
Come.
They assimilated you. That's what it's called. And if you look at a lot of the scholars, the so-called leaders of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American movements, they would tell you that assimilation is the #1 tool that they use to destroy our people.
Come.
They assimilated us to grafted us into their customs and their ways of living, that we got people thinking that we were a part of the independence.
When we was in cotton fields and Hispanics was in sugarcane fields.
Being oppressed.
Come
on, man.
That's why I started blessing.
Wake
John
up.
8:32. You shall know the truth.
got Jacob.
And the truth shall set you free. So you need to free your mind from this assimilation that our oppressors put on our descendants for hundreds of years. We got to free our minds from that and come back to the righteous ways and paths of the Most High God.
You gotta understand that they wiped out our leaders. They wiped out the people that held our heritage, that taught our heritage. They wiped them out. They took the kids, assimilated them into this European ideology, and now, through prophecy, we're waking up. And we're coming back to the Most High God.
Come.
Next one, go to Deuteronomy chapter 28.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, 15 through 19. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy Elohim, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses are going to come upon the people that fail to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Let's go into it.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So wherever you're at in the city, field, whatever country or place you're in the world, this people is going to be cursed by the Most High.
Cursed shall be thy blanket and thy store.
So your basket in that store, your finances are going to be cursed.
Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of the land, the increase of thy kind and the flock of thy sheep.
So your kids are going to be cursed. Your livestock and fruits in the land gonna be cursed, and everything you touch is gonna be cursed.
Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
Cursed shall be when you come into America through the border, and cursed shall be when they deport you out of here.
That's right.
This is Northern Kingdom all day.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Wait, so what's that again? Read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
And then we just see that on video this week where kids were separated from their parents and families. This is Bible prophecy, Deuteronomy 28:32.
That's right.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
So you know the mothers miss not having the ability to hold their babies at night to rock them to sleep, and I'm sure they miss them all day with longing.
And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So what other nation does America do that put people in cages to be a spectacle under? Deuteronomy 28 is talking about you, so-called Hispanic man, and so-called black man. We are brothers. We're from the same. We're from the stock of Jacob.
Come. Verse 43 through 46. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Yeah. So your lands in Central America, South America are filled with resources. Asher's foot is dipped in oil, because we know Venezuela's filled with oil fields. Brazil, that's another mineral-rich place, because Brazil comes from the Hebrew word barzel, which means iron. So your land's country is filled with minerals and resources, but because you're cursed, the people don't control the minerals and resources, and you're starving while the strangers are profiting from.
Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Are there any Hispanic banks that we can go to get a loan for? Now we gotta go to our oppressors to borrow money.
That's right.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of thy Elohim Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Okay, verse 46.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So this should be a sign and a wonder upon thy seed forever. So till this day, it's still going on.
And to all you Negro-only Hebrew Israelites, do y'all not see these signs?
That's right.
Are y'all just turning a blind eye to it? I mean, do you not see this? Are y'all gonna just stay on this foolishness? Just hearing this lesson in the first 15 minutes, we done bought out enough information, and we just cut your Northern Kingdom and only Africa doctrine in half. We just in the toilet. You can try to plunge it out if you want to, but it's in the toilet. You need to stop with the foolishness.
And we could bring out so many more precepts and cut that, but we're trying to focus on this immigration thing. And there's a lot more we could have brought out.
Black.
We'll do that after 68. Oh yeah, we are there now, you're right. So next we'll go to Deuteronomy 28:68 then. And show how the Northern Kingdom fits Deuteronomy 28 also, as do the Negroes, so-called Negroes.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
It's likely we know that Egypt means bondage. There's plenty of precepts in the Bible show that and establish that Egypt means bondage.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Now before the transatlantic slave trade, which happened around the 1600s, I believe, the so-called Taino and Arawak Indians and indigenous people of the Americas were shipped to Europe hundreds of years before the transatlantic slave trade. We got the book Black Indians, which documented history to show that it happened to them. It's So we're going to go to Black Indians page 26 and bring out the history.
The book Black Indians, page 26. For the people of the Americas, the arrival of Columbus was hardly a blessing. On his first day, October 12, 1492, Slovakia, the explorer wrote in his diary, "I took some of the natives by force." He later found the original inhabitants to be tractable, peaceable, and concluded there is not in the world a better nation.
Slock, ain't that 2nd Ezra 13, the peaceful multitude? And this is secular history lined up with biblical history.
His response as a European was to say that Indians must be made to work and adopt our ways.
Assimilation.
That Christopher Columbus, whose unique seamanship and courage had opened the Americas to European penetration, also began the transatlantic slave trade.
That's right.
He started by shipping 10 chained Arawak men and women to Seville, Spain.
Wait, so he shipped them Arawak men, which is like Puerto Rico, Cuba area, from Cuba, Puerto Rico to where?
He started by shipping 10 chained Arawak men and women to Seville, Spain. He wrote enthusiastically to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella about the business possibilities.
So like he said they were chained, so this wasn't no cruise he gave them. He sent them to Spain for bondage. So that's Deuteronomy 28:68 all day right there. And the Northern Kingdom experienced it way before the Southern Kingdom did, when they came to Africa and shipped our descendants to America.
Come. From here, in the name of Blessed Trinity, we can send all the slaves that can be sold. When he loaded 1,100 Taino men and women aboard 4 Spanish ships, the crowding and the stormy Atlantic crossing took a fearful toll. Only 300 survived, but Columbus and Spain had decided to continue the profitable slave trade from the Americas to Seville became the slave capital of Spain.
That's right.
The slave trade then.
Come.
Where they packed 1,100 Taino men and women in a ship, and because of difficulties, only 300 survived it. Going from the Cuba, Puerto Rico area to Spain, which is going to the other side of the world. So that makes it clear that the so-called Hispanics fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28:68 also.
Come.
Study to show thyself approved before the Most High. Study. Quit being simple.
Let alone that, we got the pictures right here. I mean, we done did the research. So, you can go look for yourself. And we got another picture, it even got the Mexicans on it too, going in the slaves too. We didn't print it out yesterday, but we meant to, but we got it too.
And look at the picture, they got the yoke of iron on them also. Just like the Negroes did. The chain around their neck, the yoke of iron. So they went through all the curses, just as the so-called Negroes.
I want to show you guys something else too, that the name American was actually applied to the Aborigines before the European people came here. I want to show you in the Webster Dictionary of 1828. It said, let's show you, let's see if it will pop up here. Webster Dictionary of 1828, it gives us the definition of American. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, American is a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aborigines or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of the Europeans born in America.
Applied to the descendants.
It's applied to the descendants of the Europeans. This place was already considered Azareth. It was called America. It was applied to the copper-colored people of this country. And now is being stolen and used for the Europeans who are being born in this country now.
Come, or apply to them rather.
The Webster Dictionary says from Webster Dictionary of 1828. Study yourself to show yourself approved.
Come.
That's right. People robbed and spoiled up their heritage.
Let me save that on my phone so I can have it on my, what you call it.
Next one, go to Baruch chapter 3, verse 18. Baruch chapter 3, 1 to 8.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, 1 to 8.
So we're going to offer solutions. Now we diagnose the problem. Now we're going to offer solutions of how we can overcome these curses.
That's right.
Break it out.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, 1 through 8. O Yahweh of hosts, Elohim of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled Ruach, cried unto thee. Hear, O Yahweh, and have mercy, or thou art merciful, and have pity upon us, because we have sinned before thee.
So we need to ask the Most High for mercy and have pity on us, and learn what sin is, so we can ask for repentance of our sin, which sin is the transgression of the law.
For thou endurest forever, and we perish utterly. O Yahweh of hosts, thou Elohim of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead children of Israel and of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearken unto the voice of thee, Yahweh the Elohim, for the which cause these plagues cleave unto us. Remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time.
So we gotta pray for our predecessors that came ahead of us, because a lot of them died not knowing the truth, not knowing that the Messiah was a black man according to the Bible. We're not knowing that the Sabbath is on Saturday, the 7th day of the week, and not Sunday, which is the first day of the week. So we gotta pray that the Most High have mercy on our predecessors also.
Come.
That's right.
Verse 6. For thou art Yahweh our Elohim, and thee, O Yahweh, will we praise.
We know that Yahweh is the God of Israel.
That's right.
And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity.
So we're supposed to call on the name of the Most High, which is Yahweh. And then that's why they don't teach you that in Christian church, because they don't want our people to come back to our true power. There's power when you call on the name of Yahweh and His Son, Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from Yahweh our Elohim.
That was verse 8?
Yes.
Because we forsaken the law, statute, commandments, that's why our people in this captivity today, because the Most High has given us time to get right so we can be ready for His second coming. So it's important to learn who you are according to the Bible and start keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, so we can get out of this captivity that we're in and be part of salvation when the Lord comes back. Next we're going to go to Zechariah chapter 9, verses 12 to 17. Zechariah chapter 9. I start at verse 12.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope.
So turn to the stronghold, which is the word of the Most High.
That's right.
This is our hope. There's no hope in the Christian church, no hope in these colleges, no hope in these jobs, no hope in America. With these scriptures, this is our hope. Come back to these law, statutes, commandments, so we can be fit and ready for the Most High when He comes back, and put us back in our rightful positions as kings and priests and rulers of this world.
Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee.
Okay.
When I have bent Judah, for me filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons. O Greece!
Oh, who?
O Greece!
We know that Greece is the so-called white man.
And made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
So the Most High is going to use the so-called Hispanics and so-called Negroes to join up together and bend that and aim that bow towards the white man to take this world back, because we know the scriptures say that in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9, which says, let me bring that out real quick. I don't want to butcher that passage. 2nd Ezra chapter 6.
6 and what?
6:6.
6 and 6. Then did I consider.
Oh yeah, this 6:9 says, for Esau is the end of the road, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So we got next according to the Bible.
That's right.
That's right.
And you can't take over a nation without war. It ain't gonna be from marching or from civil rights, but it's gonna be from war when we take them over. And when you look at Obadiah chapter 18 also says that Ephraim's gonna be a fire, and Judah, let me bring that out also. Obadiah verse 18. But this is what we're talking about, precept upon precept, line upon line, here little and there little, because it's all lines up.
Obadiah what?
18. Yeah, read it if you got it.
1 and 18, sir?
Yeah, there's only one chapter in Obadiah.
Okay, 1 and 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it.
So be patient. Our time is coming. The Most High to restore His people, so we can put Esau in their place.
That's right.
So turn to the stronghold and keep these laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, and call on the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Come.
Bring that again. I'm back to Zechariah 12.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 12.
Yes.
Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. And even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee.
Okay.
When I had bent Judah, for me filled the bow with Ephraim.
So Judah's the so-called Negroes, and Ephraim's the so-called Hispanics.
And raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece.
Greece, so-called white man.
And made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
Okay.
And thy Elohim shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning, and thy Elohim Yahweh shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. Thy Elohim of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as the wine. And they shall be filled like barrels, and as the corners of the altar.
So the Most High is going to defend His people at the end, and at least the 1/3, the righteous of them, He's going to defend.
And thy Elohim, Yahweh, shall save them in that day as the flock of His people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown lifted up as an ensign upon His land.
Okay.
For how great is His goodness, and how great is His beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids.
So everybody's going to eat and be full in the kingdom when the Most High comes back to establish righteousness. We're all going to be happy in our right state of mind, with our families intact. So this is what we have to look forward to, the salvation that the Most High is going to bring, not the salvation that America has to offer. Next, we're going to go to Amos chapter 9.
The book of Amos, chapter 9, 13 through 15. 13. The book of Amos, chapter 9, 13 through 15. And I will bring again the captivity of Slakia. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed.
Wait, so it says the plowman shall overtake the reaper. Now aren't the so-called Mexicans known as the plowmen working the fields in America and all across the country? So your time is coming where you're gonna, Most High's gonna bless you to overtake the reaper.
Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Okay.
And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Constantly be able to plan do for themselves instead of working for other people then.
And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, said thy Elohim Yahweh.
And your land is Israel, you're an Israelite. That's your true nationality, so Most High is going to plant you back in your land in Israel, which is in the Middle East.
Come.
I'm going to bring out a quote from the Messiah too, Matthew 19:30.
The book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 30. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
So who's last in society?
Us.
We are the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So the Most High wants to restore us to being on top. We're supposed to be the head and not the tail.
Come.
Esau has us as a tail, but the Messiah is going to put us as a head, and Esau is going to be the tail in the kingdom. So this is our hope right here. Well, that's all I have for today. Yakanan, Abiyah, do you guys have anything else you want to bring out?
No.
I think the scriptures pretty much covered everything. I mean, it's just time for our people to wake up. It's time for you Negro-only Israelites to put aside that doctrine that y'all pushing. For the most part, because the curses is evident.
You gotta be careful about that too, Slocky, because you're scattering the sheep. The Most High says, woe to the pastors that scatter the flock.
Come.
So refusing to look at all the historical evidence and the scriptures to point out who the Most High's people are so they can come back to their true heritage, you're scattering the flock. So you gotta be careful about that.
It's more Hebrew artifacts been found on this side of the world than even on the other side of the world. I mean, you got the Ohio Dialogue Stone, you got the Michigan Tablets, you got the Bat Creek Stone, you got Los Luna Stones. I mean, the Native American women, the Nez Perce women, they was even rocking the lily, you know?
So how do you explain all these artifacts here? It wasn't from the fake Jews. This was here before the fake Jews even stepped foot on the Americans. How do you explain that?
I mean, all it takes is a little bit of research. See, y'all need to stop relying on men and do research. You gotta conduct the diligent search instead of show yourself approved. Because if the blind leads the blind, both of y'all gonna fall in the ditch. And hell is a bottomless pit last time I checked.
Well, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High God Yahweh, and then was only begotten Son Yahushua.
All praises.
We got to give a shout out to our people that was following us on the video. Shalom to Sis Natalie Marie Colbert.
Shabbat Shalom.
Tanya Archie.
Shabbat Shalom, sis.
And the others that's going to view this video and forthcoming. We definitely appreciate your support and encouragement.
Shabbat Shalom.
Want to give a shout out to Elder Jadai Malik, Elder Rod, Brother Panah, Brother Magun, Brother Shayar, Brother Gawar, all the brothers out in Springfield and Hartford, We want to give a shout out to Mac News 144, Brother Yazar Adderall, Brother Uriel, Brother Moshe Ben Israel, Brother Rob Arshmill, and Brother Mark Daniels. You know, we just want to thank y'all for continued support. Sister Natoya LeComte, we want to thank y'all for watching. Sister Dina Chanel Israel, Shabbat Shalom to all of y'all. And just pray that the Most High, He deliver us from the hands of our oppressors, and just stay diligently in these scriptures and stay focused on the prize, and help to go out and put this word out, and let people know how serious it is that we wake up, that we are the children of Israel, and that we need to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
That's right. And stop hating your brothers because of light skin, dark skin. Some have intermingled with other nations, and it was going to happen, you know. Even the people that we mingle with over there in Iraq, they got straight hair. Even the people that we mingle with in China, they got straight hair. So you're going to see somebody in Israelite because they got straight hair? That's foolishness. I've seen some of y'all on Facebook, and a couple of y'all fathers are Ammonites. Y'all not even Israelites, and trying to tell people who Israel is. Y'all foolish. Y'all the other nation if your father ain't Israel. You foolish. So you don't even really got no say to say who's who. And y'all thinking all of the 10 tribes, all of them is still in Africa. That's foolishness and folly when we're supposed to be scattered to all 4 corners of the globe.
There ain't no scriptures that support it.
Ain't no scriptures that support it. And how y'all gonna say Israel still in Africa when at one point all Africa was Ethiopia?
And put a chart together based off Genesis 49, Deuteronomy 33 of the northern kingdom in Africa, so we can learn.
Yeah, I like to learn. Show me your chart.
Prove off that.
Where's your chart? I mean, you can say that this chart is incomplete, but I see the substance in the chart. I see substance. You can say it's incomplete, but where's the substance in your chart, and what chart are you using? What chart are you using?
It was supposed to make an ensign for the nations in Ezekiel 37.
That's right.
Where 2 sticks supposed to make a stick.
We got one with Ephraim and his companions and Judah and his companions. Where yours at? One more time, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai. You can look us up here on Facebook, Rise of Chosen Truth Beyond the Surface Temple, and you can look up our old videos and recent activities on Mika IL 7 on YouTube. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Kum Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.